Dunmore. How are you?
I'm good. Hello, Matt and Tracy. I want to start off by saying I think it is horrendously absurd to compare religion to child abuse. I do not abuse the children who I am teaching religion to. I am enlightening them, broadening their mind.
George?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I don't necessarily equate religious teaching to child abuse.
Well, I sat here and listened to rambling on for about 20 minutes about indoctrination.
Okay, George?
Yes.
Let's be clear. I have on occasion said that some religious teaching, some religious instruction should be viewed as a form of child abuse. I do not equate religious teaching with child abuse. And Tracy wasn't necessarily talking about religious teaching at all. She was talking about an actual distinction between indoctrination and socialization that applies beyond religion. And if all you're going to do is come in butthurt and saying that you listen to her ramble for 20 minutes, we're probably not going to have a very productive call.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, sir, but that's the way I interpreted that.
Well,
that's not what I said, though.
Is it still the way you interpret it?
Well, as long as you make yourself clear now, then it's fine.
Well,
people hear what they want to hear, I think, sometimes.
So anyway, what else?
Well, the reason I called in was because on this show I've noticed the hosts never stop talking about how there is no evidence of God in this world.
Well, no good evidence.
I have a list here of evidence that I can give you other than the Bible.
Yeah, I would clarify to say that there's no good evidence, or there is not sufficient evidence.
There is, in fact, sufficient evidence.
It is false to say that there's no evidence, because when people are talking about anecdotal evidence and things like that, of course there are testimonies and
I've heard many times the host of this show say that there is no evidence.
I understand that, George. I am trying to clarify this for you so that you understand that yes, in the past there have been mistakes made by me and by others where, in the context of the discussion, we say, oh, there's no evidence for the existence of God. And what we mean and what we should be saying is that there is not sufficient evidence for the existence of God, or that there is no good evidence for the existence of God from our point of view.
Well, I have to disagree with you, sir.
Here's best evidence.
I have a list here of evidence I could give you that I'm sure that you cannot deny.
Can you give us the best one?
The best
there is a God.
Can you give us the best one?
Yes, sir. The miracle of the sun.
The miracle of the sun?
The miracle of the sun, sir. Fatima. When the Blessed Virgin Mary appeared in Fatima in 1917 to the three children, one of them being Lucia dos Santos, who lived out her days until 2005. So this is not a witness from thousands and thousands of years ago. This is a woman who, up until a few years ago, was still alive.
Okay.
But Go
ahead.
Yeah. George, is this the same one where they said the sun was moving all over the place?
There were at least 30,000 people that witnessed it, madam.
Yeah, that's not really substantiated. I've looked this up before.
Yeah, the newspaper article.
Yeah, I know. It was some reporting that was done, and reporting is never wrong. But
before the expanded size of the crowd.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that you can look up. You can.
George, are you going to listen or talk?
You can look up assessments of this.
Incredible movements out.
George, listen to Tracy for a second.
You can actually look up rebuttals. Let's just put it on hold for a second. You can look up rebuttals to this for the viewers.
He keeps talking, so he doesn't know you're talking.
For the viewers that are watching, you can go and look this up. There are rebuttals to it. The information is not as solid as you might think by the people that claim it. Now, that being said, I was trying to confirm with George, because I don't have the information right in front of me, whether or not this was the miracle where they claimed that the sun was moving all over the sky. And if that is in fact the case, I would like to know how the Earth didn't go flying out of its orbit.
Oh, is he? You there, George?
Yeah. The Earth did not go flying out of its orbit because it was a miracle which was being controlled by God. And God prevented that from happening.
So the sun, this is the one where they said the sun was just going all over the place, but nobody else saw it, right? Like it wasn't reported anywhere else in the world where the sun was showing at that time. Is that correct?
Yes, well, it's a miracle.
Yeah, it could also be an incorrect report.
By 30,000 plus people?
It wasn't that many people. You need to go and look and see how valid these sources are.
So here's the thing. First of all, we have no way of actually investigating this, and we don't know how. Can I finish, George? Can I finish for real? For realsies, can I talk?
There are witnesses.
George. George.
There's no verification to these claims.
No,
we've done this before. There were no, what do you call it, observatories that reported that the sun moved from its place in the sky. There was no other reports from any other place where it was daytime at the time saying that the sun had moved. There is nothing to substantiate that what these people claimed they saw really occurred. Nothing to verify it. It's just their claim.
And moreover, the point that I was trying to get to is that we have a report of something happening. Even if those people are honest and this is what they apparently saw, we have no demonstration that A, it actually happened, or B, that it was supernatural in origin. Maybe there was some sort of atmospheric phenomenon that caused an illusion.
No,
but would you better let me finish. I swear to your God, George, I'll hang up on you if you don't let me finish. The other thing is, you have no justification for claiming that the cause of this event, even if it occurred, is a God. You cannot claim that without evidence by...
Yeah, and I just want to correct one thing. I do think that we can verify that it did not happen. Now, what you were saying...
Well, we can't verify that people didn't experience it.
Right, and that was something I wanted to make sure, because there was something you said that kind of crossed that line, and I just want to make sure that it was clear to the viewers, because there is absolutely, there are people that would have, everybody in the daytime part of the globe at that point would have reported this. It would have been reports from everywhere if the sun had actually moved. So we know that objectively speaking, externally from the perspective of what did the sun do that day, it did not move. Now, if these people said they saw it, I don't know how valid the reports are, because when you try to look it up and you try to really substantiate this, you really can't get any valid reporting out of it. It's like this little tiny area in Mexico where somebody went and spoke to some people, and and all it is, it's like claims from the Bible. It's just going and talking to people, and they're saying, oh yeah, and my cousin George was there, and so you end up with these relayed secondhand accounts that end up getting reported, and then you get these conflicting reports, and it's a mess. But the fact is, if the sun was moving around, it would have wreaked havoc on the planet. Observatories would have reported it, and there would have been more than just one little town in some city in Mexico that would have seen the sun flying all over the sky. We can absolutely, say that whatever they think they saw or didn't see, if they're telling any kind of truth out of there, that we know that in fact what they think they saw did not occur. And as Matt was saying, even if something did occur, there's no substantiation there that it was produced by a deity.
And so if we already know that the sun wasn't actually moving around all over the place, then what we're in a position of, somebody is telling us that a bunch of people reported that this thing happened, which we know didn't happen.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean they're all lying, which is the point I was getting at. They could all have thought they saw something, and there could be any number of potential natural explanations, and there could also be supernatural causes. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And so I'm in a position where I need to investigate and say, okay, can we demonstrate that some phenomena occurred? Well, actually, no, not really. We have a report, and yes, it's a lot of people, but that's an appeal to popularity. And, I can't point to any others with 30,000, but you can go find groups of people who claim to have been abducted by aliens together. That doesn't mean they actually were.